Now, the UN General Assembly is all set to hold a vote to decide whether to condemn Russian annexation or not. Soon after the announcement, Moscow asked the body to hold a secret ballot, but with 107 votes in favour, UNGA has rejected the plea. Either Wednesday or Thursday will see a public vote by the members. It is on a draft resolution that condemns Russia's referendum vote in 4 Ukrainian regions. Only 13 countries opposed holding a public vote. Another 39 countries abstained, and the remaining countries, including Russia and China, did not vote at all.
The war in Ukraine should have been never started. But it will end one day. Guns will be silent, but when? At what cost? How many people will have died? How many families separated? How much more suffering endured?
Now, Moscow made a case that a public vote will mean Western lobbying. It will make the process very difficult if positions are expressed publicly. However, most of the members disagreed. Mostly Western countries have united to condemn Russia's aggression, especially since the war entered its 6th month. September was crucial for the course of the war. Russia held referendum votes in Donetsk, Luhansk and parts of Kherson and Zaporizhia. And to no one's surprise here, they were all in Kremlin's favour. And Vladimir Putin announced an official annexation of about 15% of Ukrainian territory. But at the same time, Russian forces are also losing ground, some in the same region that it plans to annex. Kiev claims to have won back key regions in the Eastern Front. At the United Nations, there were also the usual back and forth by Ukraine and Russia. The blame game has become a common display since the February invasion. Both sides question the United Nations for different reasons.
The sham referendums in 4 Ukrainian regions, followed by unlawful decisions by the Russian president and parliament, served this very purpose and thus pose an existential threat to the United Nations and its charter. Ukrainians can tell you what our world will look like if this erosion of the UN's credibility is not stopped.
Такого размаха цинизма, конфронтации и крайне опасной поляризации, как сейчас, не было в истории Всемирной организации. Особенно рельефно это проявляется на данной сессии, политизированность которой вытекает уже из того, что она специально создана для продвижения нарратива, направленного против одного государства – Российской Федерации.
Now, for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report from New York. Listen in.
Well, the United Nations General Assembly was called to discuss Russia's recent declared annexation of 4 partly occupied Ukrainian territories. The discussion was overshadowed by Moscow's recent strikes on Kiev and its surrounding areas, the most punishing in recent months, even since the war began. The Ukrainian ambassador to the United Nations did not hold back, calling Russia a terrorist state. Russia, for its part, did not address the recent strikes directly. However, the country's ambassador did defend its decision to annex those regions in Ukraine. The decision to bring the annexation matter before the General Assembly, where the 193 members have 1 vote each and no veto-wielding power, was made after the discussions at the UN Security Council failed because of Russia's veto-wielding power. A decision and a vote is expected no sooner than Wednesday. Meanwhile, Csaba Kőrsi, the Hungarian diplomat who is the president of this session of the UNGA, pointed to the UN Charter. He called for a diplomatic solution and a resolution to the war in Ukraine between Russia and the Ukrainians. He said the UN Charter is clear, the General Assembly has been clear, the Secretary General has been clear. Aggression is illegal. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.